understood someone without them saying a single word? A smile can say I'm happy. Tears can say I'm hurt. A raised eyebrow can show surprise. And sometimes silence itself is like a wall, especially when someone is staring at you and you don't know why. Even without words, our faces already tell a story. These simple expressions show us something very important, that human beings can communicate even without words. Have you ever experienced this? Hi everyone, my name is Roshni and today I would like to share my thoughts on expressing myself without words. Let me explain that a little more. When we generally hear the word communication, we think about speaking or writing. But however, communication is not limited to words. Sometimes our eyes, hands, expressions, and even the way we stand can express emotions, ideas, and messages. And sometimes they do a better job than our words. So to elaborate on that, I would like to share an experience that helped me understand this idea in a very interesting way. One evening, I was watching a classical dance performance on television. At first, it seemed like another beautiful dance with colorful costumes and music. But however, as the performance continued, I noticed something very amazing. The dancer was telling an entire story without using a single word. When her eyes opened wider and movements became energetic, it showed excitement and joy. When her movements slowed down, her eyebrows lowered, and her face reflected sadness and worry. Even without words, her emotions were completely clear. And the most important part is, everyone could understand it. No subtitles needed at all. And then, my mother quietly commented, "Look, now the character is feeling proud." And I was surprised because I too can understand that. A moment later, the dancer's expressions completely changed again, showing struggle and determination. What happened next made me think even more deeper. Through her facial expressions, body movements, and hand gestures, the dancer was communicating so clearly that words were not even required. That performance made me realize something very amazing. Words are not only the way to express ourselves. Sometimes our actions, emotions, and art can explain ideas even more deeply than language. After that, I started noticing silent expressions in everyday life. For example, a friend encouraging another friend with a thumbs up, a teacher showing appreciation with a simple nod, or a parent showing care with a gentle look. No long explanations, no long speeches, but still everything is so clear. And sometimes, honestly, that's better. Because when we start explaining too much, we end up by confusing everyone and sometimes including ourselves. So to conclude, communication is not a limitation. It is a powerful skill. So the next time, if you want to share a feeling, express an idea, or encourage someone, remember that words can explain ideas, but emotions can touch hearts. Because the most powerful language in the world is not always spoken. Sometimes it is simply felt. And if words fail you next time, don't worry, because your face will handle the situation. Thank you.